Guys.com presents Paradise, Louisiana. Paradise, Louisiana is brought to you by Circle K, Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Demco, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament. Relief Windows. Visit Baton Rouge, an authentic Louisiana experience. And by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome to this week's edition of Paradise, Louisiana, and welcome to finally some good news. And I'm talking about some good news. We're here at CCA State Headquarters, and Mr. Red Thrasher got some good news for us, somebody.
Good news, lots to do in the next couple of weeks, but Star is starting on time. May 23rd, Saturday Memorial Day weekend. The board has said, let's get down to the coast, support the businesses that give us access to what we like. So let's give them incentive. And how about $500,000 in prizes?
And we're about 2 weeks away from opening up on the 15th now. Here in Louisiana, and people are opening up all over, being careful. We being careful. I chose not to use my mask. Brad told me he didn't understand me without the mask. So we safe, 6 foot apart. You want to measure this?
I'm sure we can.
Measure the way we measure our
I kind of like this. This might be going on for in the future. I kind of like him at a safe distance, you know?
Stay tuned. We got the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fish Report, which is short, but it's good. Watch the Paradise Louisiana.
Why choose Barbecue Guys? Because this is Barbecue Guys. Not only do we have the largest online selection of grills and outdoor furniture, top-notch customer service, affordable financing, and 3D design services to help you tie it all together, but we also know what it is you love most about outdoor living. Time spent with family and friends. Combined with our expert advice, you'll have everything you need to design your dream outdoor life. Stop by our showroom today.
I'm Brett Favre. As a quarterback in the NFL, if I didn't stay focused, I ended up on my back or worse. Even the smallest distraction could make a good play or offensive drive come to an end. When you're in a car, the smallest distraction could end much more than a drive. It could end someone's life. Just like I refuse to lose on the field, I refuse to lose someone I love to distracted driving. And you should too. Focus on the road. Don't drive distracted. A message from Farm Bureau Insurance.
It's that time of year, CCA Star Tournament time.
We might have a star winner, folks!
Don't miss your chance for more categories, more prizes, and more smiles. Young and old, there's a division for everyone. You can win a truck, RV, boat, and much more. Sign up today for a chance to become an early bird winner. The fun starts Memorial Day weekend. Visit CCA Star to get your ticket today.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. CCA Star. How many years been going on? Let's tell me what's coming up this year, Mr. Rath.
26th year. This will be the 26th year of competition. Look, you know, we met last week with the board and said, here's the facts. Everybody's fishing, and the best part is the fish are biting. And so we decided to move on with the tournament and do it as planned. So May 23rd, it will all begin. There'll be 100 tagged redfish in the water, but I can tell you, be on the lookout for me and a lot of our volunteers because we've got 3 weeks to get them all tagged and in the water. But we will get it done, and look forward to having Star go on as planned.
Before we talk about the Star in particular, all these conservation groups, CCA, you know, we're talking about all the Ducks Unlimited, Delta Waterfowl, Wild Turkey Federation.
Everybody.
Everywhere you look, all the society, Woodcock Society, I'm getting these letters and they're hurting bad.
Well, look,
y'all did something a little different in virtual that I don't know how bad it's still hurting y'all, but tell us how that online deal went.
It was actually really good. So keep in mind, CCA Louisiana alone has 32 major fundraisers a year. 25 of them are between March and May. That is where not only our operating funds come from, but also a lot of the money that goes to conservation and the advocacy work and everything that we do. And unfortunately, our mission is not stopping. I mean, right now, in the next month, I'm going to be building a reef at South Tim 51, thanks to Williams Pipeline and us. We've got 8 other major reef projects going on throughout the year. And we don't want that to stop, but obviously we've got to fund them some way. And so just like every other business that's hurting, we're trying to be creative and figure out what to do. So we had talked about having an online silent auction, which we've done in the past through all the other banquets. So that's kind of in our wheelhouse, but we decided to have a live auction. And I will tell you, it was comical. It was not perfect, but it did raise a lot of money. It helped us kind of sustain for a couple more months without having events. And
You're going to do it again?
I don't know. We originally said we don't want to put our hand out any more than we have to. But the response that we've gotten was actually phenomenal and how much fun it was. And so you might see it again, but part of the thing is we're trying to kind of keep it in our hip pocket in case there are certain events that don't happen again this year. If we can't reschedule them now, I have a tool to do. But look, it's funny, if you've been to a CCA banquet over the last 15, 16 years, you've seen me and Charlie Willis do the auctions. We've done, I don't know, 1,000 of them probably. We've never done it 2.5 hours apart, and it was a challenge, but like I said, a lot of fun and productive, and it allowed us to keep going with our business the way that we need to, because once again, our mission doesn't stop, and I will tell you, on the other organizations, they're all in the same boat. Whether you're DU or Delta Waterfowl or the Lay Lake Foundation or any charity, a lot of us were all based on event fundraising, and without them, we've got to be creative. And so what I would encourage you is obviously support us, but support your favorite charities, whether it's just renewing your membership or making a small donation. You have no idea what it means. And look, one of the things that I cannot thank enough is our big corporate sponsors. I mean, people like Hancock Whitney, Mercury, Nautic Star, Chevron, Shell. If it wasn't for those guys, we would be in a real bind. And almost every one of them said, what do you need? Do you need us to go ahead and pay early? And they did it. And so I'm going to tell you, without those kind of folks, it wouldn't be possible.
The same thing with us, with some of our sponsors. And we're trying to help, a lot of these restaurants. You know how much, what my reputation is eating. So, and I tell you what, they have really been working. Coca-Cola, one of our biggest sponsors, helping pull all these restaurants together. They advertising all over the newspaper.
John Miller had a whole lot of fun on the live auction that night. Speaking of Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I tell you what, Red, is anything new is coming? But this has been going on, 26 years?
26 years. So no, there is. I hate to say it that way. There is not really anything new this year. We had a handful of things that we thought we were going to change. We thought we were going to expand a couple divisions, but unfortunately, in the last couple months, where we were trying to seal those up, we haven't had the ability. But I will tell you, you're going to have everything that you've had in the 25th year. It's still over $500,000 in prizes. Obviously, our tag redfish division, there's 100 tag redfish once again. First one, obviously, Chevy Silverado. Second one will be a travel trailer from Bent's RV. 3 through 5 are Nautic Star Mercury boat packages, and 6 through 10 are Gator Tails. But then we obviously always will give away more Nautic Stars and Mercuries for the trout division. We've got flounder, we've got bank. One of the things that we keep preaching to everybody is if you fish saltwater, we've got a division for you. Whether young, old, male, female, fish from a bank, kayak, inshore, offshore, we've got it all. And we plan to offer all of that once again. You can find it on the website.
I don't know why I even asked you if you had something new. It's been so popular and there's so many people. Last year, it was a great year. A lot of people caught. How many members or people, participants we have in Star right now on average?
On average, we get about 12 to 13,000 anglers. Obviously, right now, we haven't really been pushing it because we didn't know what was going to happen. So the full court press is obviously about to start. But, you know, right now we probably have 3,000 signed up, and hopefully we'll get up into that normal number. You know, who knows? But one thing I will tell everybody is, look, the prizes are secured. Our sponsors are great. But look, there might end up being some changes along the way. So obviously, we will email everybody that is registered if there are changes, but also please follow us on the website, follow us on social media, because, you know, I can't control if a weigh station decides it's not safe for them to weigh fish. Or
I hope everybody's watching this. You know, if you've been through oil spills, hurricanes, floods, you look around right now, and this is something very unique. It's worldwide and completely different. Y'all been so resilient, and that's what we always talk about Louisiana as being, we caught up being resilient. We were brought up being resilient.
Well, that is true. And look, you know, CCA's been around for, in Louisiana, I think 38 years now. We are resilient. The kicker to this thing is it's hit everybody. I don't know anybody that's unaffected by this. You know, whether it was the flood in Central and Ascension, you know, the guys on the west and far east sides of the state that year were okay. Oil spill, the coast was much worse, but the inside was okay. You know, hurricanes, kind of the same thing. This has hit everybody. But look, to us, one of the things that we decided was the one thing that everybody seems to be very comfortable with and is being encouraged to do is go outside with your family and go have fun. And that's, quite frankly, the business that we're in when it comes to Star.
I think the change about being safe. I think from now on, at least for another couple of years, you're going to see people being socially distant to a certain degree. But that's almost impossible in Louisiana. We are loving people. We love to be with our friends and our family. You know, we're doing it, and we welcome. We welcome everybody in the world to come down here, and it hurt our tourism bad, and I think we'll get it back. And CCA going to be one of the ways to prove how successful we can be and how much fun still going out on the coast and going fishing is.
Absolutely. Look, but what has also been interesting from my standpoint is watching the people that I would have assumed wouldn't be as cautious as they are. But look, I was in Cocodrie the other day at Cajun Bait, because they were the only bait shop open, and there was a line drawn of how close you could get. They said, we're not giving exact change. We're going to, you know, just leave your cash on the table. And we never had interaction, and it was still comfortable. We all still got our bait. We still could go fishing and have a good time.
He caught a lot of fish too.
Yeah, it was pretty epic. A couple days down there. But I will tell you, you know, if those folks can do it, I think the rest of us can too, and I think you're seeing that across the board. But once again, if a weigh station, you know, there's a lot of weigh stations that we have, and there's 30 across the state that are run by families. You know, they might not want their kids or grandkids exposed to something or whatever, and so if that's their choice, we're going to have to kind of roll with the punches. And so I ask all the participants to kind of roll with those punches with us, and obviously we will keep you up to date. As much as we know, we will let you know. But you know, we didn't want to, you know, one or two little hiccups to stop the tournament from going on.
You got to be cool young. Remember when we said that a long time ago as a commercial? Hey, you can't do nothing, you can't help at all unless you join. So sign up for the store. When we come back, he can hang around. He knows a little bit about where these fish are right down this month. But our Abu Garcia fishing report.
The best part about being a member of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative is that it's your Touchstone Energy Cooperative. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
For the thirsty, for those who hang out in packs, for heroes, for sidekicks, for those who see the glass half empty, for those who see it half full, for those on the right, for those on the left, for those with nicknames, for those with curves, for people that cycle, for people that recycle, for BFFs, for frenemies, for those with style, for lovers, for families, for big families, for everyone.
I've been asking him to change the oil for months now, and he never did. So I finally just went to Benny's. They even washed my car for free. Uh-huh. And you know what? It was amazing. Yeah, I left Benny's and got home before Rob even knew I was gone.
Benny? Who the heck is Benny?
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, and the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report. Rad, I got my stuff here. I've been getting them all week. I got a few pictures, but tell us about your trip to Cocodrie and where y'all been. Give them a hint right now. I know y'all been tagging redfish and putting redfish out. When y'all starting and when is this going to end?
Well, from the tagging redfish standpoint, believe it or not, usually we would be tagging by now. As I've told a handful of people, our tags were caught up in Australian FedEx jail. They cut flights from Australia into the United States where our tags are made. And so we didn't have them until last Friday. And so we got a new company that made them that look exactly the same. And but we received them Friday, so we're about to go out on a mad dash and get them done. Thank goodness I have a ton of volunteers that are willing to help. So we will be doing that. As far as the fishing in Cocodrie, that was a trout trip. It was nothing but fun. It was kind of our first time our family got out and changed the scenery. Went down with Stephen Babcock and his family, and it was blockbuster. We went on the outside. I think he'd kill me if I told you exactly the spot, but if you can find clean water, they are on the outside. The beaches, the islands, whether it's the Monkey Bars or Wine Island, Last Island, they're all
live bait and
live bait and artificial. Most of what we caught was live bait, but it was easy. I talked to Tommy and Eric Pellegrin a lot, and they're having blockbuster. I mean, April was phenomenal for them. So I think it'll hold on. But truly, everywhere we go in the state, I'm hearing kind of the same reports. Grand Isle has been on fire. I was there this past weekend, and it was okay. It wasn't great. It was beautiful weather. The tides were right. Everything was supposed to work. I will tell you, it was one of those weekends, and the fishermen know what this means.
What about the gnats?
The gnats weren't bad. There was a decent little breeze. Decent breeze.
They're bad in Central.
So we didn't have that problem. But everywhere you pulled up, you caught a fish or two. But we couldn't really get them to turn on. But they were there. They were healthy and they were big. And that transition is finally starting to happen. We started seeing a ton of little fish around the island.
Well, my report from Grand Isle, most of them come from Buggy Vega and Butch and them. But I'm gonna tell you, Tommy Vidrain, every time he gets them, he goes out there, goes in the back, he catches them all. He's still fishing them live pokies, but they catching some few fish on top water.
I caught a few this weekend. It was nice.
Top water.
They're there. Like I said, they're there. I just never could get them turned on. I know obviously Tommy did, but he's a lot more skilled than I am.
I didn't see no monster. Well, Tommy catches a monster trout every now and then on that live bait, but the pictures obviously people sending me or telling me about, and then when I used to go down there at my brother's camp, and then we fish this time of year in the surf, when we can, they're chunks. They look like thumpers, we call them, when they hit the, they're good solid. 2.5 pounds, boom, boom.
They're thumpers. I like that. It's a solid one. Look, here, I'll tell you, in the Cocodrie, it was funny. We're reeling them in, and the first day we caught 50 fish in 50 minutes. We actually timed it, but what was interesting was I looked at Stephen at one point and said, "You need to measure that one. That looks a little small," and it was 15 inches.
Well,
so,
when they can, the guides in Venice are doing the same thing. They're running out, like this. And all them guys I know, I talked to over there, and you see it on the shows, Kevin's show. They've been catching fish over there, and they're fishing out there, and they're fishing live bait, and they also fishing plastic. They're using matrix heads, or any of your favorite, the H&H. The same colors look like they're doing the chore when you finding them, and then they're a little bit deeper, but they're catching those fish. Another place I get is Delacroix. That's been hit or miss. My good friends, all my what you call my veterans, Tom LeBlanc and all them, Ron Amy and Cesar Garcia. We had all the Garcia women with them this last week, and they went out and they caught a bunch of fish. They caught enough to eat, and they would catch them in Delacroix. But they haven't been catching the canals. That when they can get in the lakes or the few bays, yeah, they're catching fish over there. That's coming. Rick Bailey, the sheriff's office over there, he's fishing with Lloyd Landry in Delacroix. And Lloyd Landry have been catching. They had 72 beautiful trout last Friday. You know, them in the boat. So almost a limit between people. Island Marina, where I'm there, I'm getting word all the time. All the captains. I talked to Mike Gallo and I talked to Dudley. And Dudley has not been going to be having, he ain't got his boat and them ready. He's getting ready. He's been doing crabbing with his son and them. And he's still fooling with soft-shell crabs. But Mike Gallo and them making a few trips if people are still coming in. And if you think about all these guides right now that have been good to you during the year, call them up, especially if you're living here. Okay, the only trouble they're having trouble with these corporate sponsors, they bringing 8 and 10 people and they're keeping a distance, but they're making it safe for you. And time to go fishing. If you're tired of being inside, be safe. Go on out there and catch some fish. Anywhere you call on the coast. I even got a few reports from Big Lake, and it gets rough. It got a little muddy during them storms, but they're catching fish. They're going back in the other lakes west of them, in the West Cove and them, and they're catching fish over there. Anything else you got? Any reports you heard of saltwater?
The fish are biting everywhere. Get out and go.
Offshore now.
Offshore, the tuna bite has been off the charts. Obviously, Amberjack just opened. So, you know, let the fun begin. Obviously, it's weather dependent, but the fish are there. They're waiting to be caught. Just get out there and be safe about it. You know, that's all that we're asking. But from Big Lake to, you know, to Mississippi, everybody is catching fish. I saw Michael Matthews had a great trip at Chandeliers this weekend with his son. You know, Big Lake, Pecan Island, they're catching fish.
Mike and Bill Butler and them, they got fresh shrimp in them. They told me last week that they were going to try to open up May 1st, and you can come on there. They was always going to let you use the landing. The landing's open. I talked to I actually saw Bill yesterday. They were heading offshore with one of my buddies, but they are back open, fully functioning to a certain extent. Obviously, if the food is to-go orders, you know, those kind of things. But they have bait, they have fuel, they're open. And most marinas are back functioning. Once again, like I said, from a star standpoint, it does cause a little bit of interaction, and so we're going to have to kind of work through that. But right now, all of them are open at some level from a Star Way Station standpoint. Yeah, you can sign up for Star in them landings.
You can, but the easiest way is go to ccastar.com. That way nobody has to interact, nobody has to touch the same paper. We have all the mechanisms there to be safe and be entered at the same time.
Starting date again, one more time.
May 23rd, that is the Saturday of Memorial Day weekend. It's going to last all the way to Labor Day, so get ready, whether you're trout fishing or snapper fishing, get ready, it's about to start.
I got a lot of birthdays on May 23rd. I got my brother, Skip Bertman.
Really?
Kevin Ford. They got a bunch of them on that birthday. I remember them guys. Now, freshwater. This is tricky.
I can't help you there.
This is tricky right now. Spillway is high, and historically, you can't fish right now. In the last 2 weeks, people are catching fish in the spillway. People that are putting in, when they find a landing, they're putting in the landing. They're using their jump boats, and they're using smaller boats, bass boats, and they're coming back, and they're fishing up against the levee. Now, that's always been good for years. Coach Robinson, when he was at LSU, Bob Scapes used to write about it all the time. From Ramey all the way down, when the water was up on the Chapel side, up against the levee, they had the yellow flowers. People would wade. You got to be careful, because some of those are private property. You got to have permission. You'll see cattle walking on the levee. They don't make sure where you're at. Whatever happens in the Army Corps in this, they restrict some of the places you do. Chapel Spillway, the levees, Mississippi River, the pits in them off the Mississippi River. If you know there's places that you're getting, you got permission, you're catching fish. People are catching in their kayaks, small bateaus, they're being safe. But I'm going to tell you what, they're catching catfish you wouldn't believe. But I'm going to tell you one more time. They're catching fish. They told me not to say nothing, but Joe Macalusa had this paper now. I remember doing the same thing. Walking on the levee, walking in a safe place. I had permission, and just walk the bank, get out there and wade. Put your warm right now, pair your tennis shoes and some blue jeans, and khaki pants, and catch them bass right now. Spinnerbait, lunker lure. A friend of mine don't want to give his name because he don't want to tell everybody, but he's been killing them. They've been catching his limit, catching more than the limit, but keeping their limit from Morgan City all the way up to Dry Run fishing the levee. He's going in his boat, and his best bait has been crawfish, fishing regular Texas rig. So that's it. I'm here in foot with Sac-A-Lait. Lake Verette's another one. The only trouble with Lake Verette, like I told you last week, some of them landings are closed. The water's up in the parking lot in Tacopah. So when you go, find your place to launch. And if you know where you're going to fish, well, you can put it in anywhere if the lake is calm. But that lake can be treacherous right now, especially in April and May and storms. So you don't want to get caught away. If you do get caught, go to wherever you can to be safe and let somebody go take your car and bring you up. And that's it. All the lakes up in North Louisiana, all your home places, Lake St. John, Lake Concordia, fish are being caught all over. I didn't get no pictures last week, but they're doing it. And still number one, False River. False River catching bass. Chinkapin are back. The Chinkapin are back in the northern flats.
My buddies are hammering away at Caney Lake and big fish, really big fish on Caney. So.
Caney Lake, I've been there one time in my life. I got invitations. I know this store coming. I don't know. I need to get there.
Let me just tell you, it's back. It is back.
Bass now, they got some big Chinkapin in there too.
Big bass, really big bass.
No Sac-A-Lait?
A few. They don't call them Sac-A-Lait up there though.
Hey,
that's crappy to you.
Wear your mask when you have to. Keep saying your prayers for Louisiana and the rest of the world, because this pandemic is still going on. Don't forget to sign up for the Star. And Raz, thank you again for being one of the team members of Paradise, Louisiana.
Happy to be.
See you next week. Don't forget, again, sign up for the Star.
BBQGuys.com presents Paradise, Louisiana. Paradise, Louisiana is brought to you by Circle K, Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Louisiana Fish Fry Products, Demco, CCA Louisiana, and the CCA Louisiana Star Tournament, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.